Hey, greetings, everyone. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West here, and welcome to the Steadfast and Loyal podcast, the very first one of 2026.
You gotta light 'em up before they burn it down. Better dig deep and put 'em in the ground. Blood on their hands, they're hellbound. Save us all. Ooh, they're gonna burn it down. Save us all before they burn it down.
Happy New Year to everyone. And I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you for all of your prayers and thoughts and concerns. Today, this is the 5th of January 2026. It marks 1 month since I had my hip replacement surgery. Things are going very well. And again, thanks for lifting me up in prayer. And, I'll be back to knocking out 3.5 miles with a good run, hopefully by the end of March, but it's going very well right now. And I just want to thank Dr. Stephen Appleton and his team there at the Texas Joint Institute for the surgery, the procedure they did. And it's been a remarkable recovery in just this month. Speaking of recovery, I want you to just think about where we are in the United States of America going into 2026, the year that we'll celebrate 250 years of American independence and also 190 years of Texas independence. March the 3rd of 2026 will be the day that Texas signed its Declaration of Independence from a brutal dictator. And that's what I want to start off with. We woke up and we heard about over the weekend about an incredible operation that occurred down in Venezuela. And this is what happens when you focus on the core competencies of our United States military, our armed forces. When you're not sitting around and talking about gender dysphoria, when you're not sitting around and you're talking about DEI and all of this kumbaya stuff, when you're not using our military as some platform for, leftist societal transformations, when you're focusing our military, when you're not issuing illegal, unconstitutional, and unlawful orders for members of our military to get stuck in the arm with something that's an experimental drug, when you turn over to them and say, here's your task, here's your purpose, they execute. And all of these folks that are out there talking about constitutionality, where were you when Barack Obama had his kill list and he was just droning people left and right, to include American citizens? They didn't get any due process. Where were you when, Bill Clinton and the debacle of Mogadishu? Where were you doing with Joe Biden with the debacle of Afghanistan, and also the unconstitutional actions of opening up our borders, which allowed narco-terrorists to thrive and kill hundreds of thousands of Americans? See, I find it absolutely unconscionable, but predictable, that the Democrats, and let's, I don't even know if you can call it, that's the political party, but the Marxist socialist leftists, I think they're upset because one of their own got apprehended. But it shows you, as we hear about how the left is now going out and protesting, while people, Venezuelans, are celebrating in the streets in Venezuela, while Venezuelans here in the United States of America are celebrating because they want their country back. They want a country back that used to be one of the most prosperous nations in our hemisphere. And speaking of our hemisphere, what a great thing that now we are focusing on our hemisphere. A lot of people forgot about the Monroe Doctrine and what it stood for and what it meant, to include administration after administration after administration here in the United States of America. And what ends up happening, you get Russia in here, you get China in here, you get Iran in here. Never forget that with Hugo Chavez and Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, when he was the head honcho there in Iran, there were direct flights from Caracas to Tehran, Iran. We know that Hezbollah was operating in Venezuela, courtesy of Chavez and Maduro. And with an open border like what we saw in the Biden administration, it's pretty easy for them to transit right on into the United States of America. But now we're focusing on our hemisphere. You know, Jimmy Carter, who goes and gives away one of the greatest engineering marvels in the history of the world, definitely for the United States of America, the Panama Canal, he gives it away. Who was running and operating it? China, part of their Belt and Road strategy. But now all of a sudden we see the Panamanians, the president there saying, no, we're not going to continue on with this, Belt and Road strategy. We're not going to continue to align ourselves with China. We're not going to continue to allow them to come here and do this operation. We're going to be able to get the Panama Canal back under our control, or at least control of people that will be allies to us here in our own hemisphere. That's what the Monroe Doctrine was all about. And now finally we have a president that is standing up and doing what is necessary. But yet we have these leftists that are going out there talking about constitutionality. What's more important? Another 100,000 Americans dead because of drugs and fentanyl poisoning. And fentanyl is a poison. This is a chemical warfare attack. Nicolas Maduro and his wife have enriched themselves by cozying up and providing material support, aid, and comfort to narco-terrorists as they launch their boats that bring their deadly product here to the United States of America for only one intent and purpose: to kill Americans.